Hey everyone, how's it going again? I've got another video. This time I'm doing upper body, but more hypertrophy work. And instead of talking about what I'm doing in the video, I'd like to discuss the topic of motivation versus discipline. And oh, just a heads up, in this video, I don't show all the sets because it takes too long. I just show maybe one or two sets and then I move on to the next exercise. So I don't have a script or anything in front of me. I'm just going to say whatever's in my mind, and I'm going to try to be as clear and transparent as I can and really give what I think about motivation versus discipline. So, when I was a wee lad, and just a kid, I guess, I was easily motivated by idols, by people I looked up to, motivational videos, music, what have you, right? And I think it's a great tool, to get going on something. Motivation's everywhere. You can find it in whatever you want it to be. For example, like I said, you can find it in your idols, people you look up to. People can find motivation in art, in their own thoughts, in their own work, just whatever it may be, and that's great. But I realized as soon as I started aging, right now I'm 23, I realized that motivation isn't sustainable. So when I first started badminton and working out, I would always look up YouTube videos of the greatest badminton players and try to copy their style or try to learn from what they do. And it got me going. But eventually I just couldn't contain it anymore. So there are going to be days when you're not doing so well. For example, you might have failed an exam, or you may have had an argument with an important person, and it literally just ruins the whole day. Only if you let it. But for me, at a younger age, it would really affect me. And when I was down, I wouldn't want to go to the gym. I wouldn't want to go meet my friends. I wouldn't want to do homework. I wouldn't want to play badminton. And it was bad. It was bad. And that's when I learned that motivation sometimes isn't enough. It can get someone going, it'll get them started on whatever path they choose to go on. However, it's not sustainable. It's only there temporarily. Okay? And as with discipline, I found that discipline works the other way around and is more understandable at an older age. At a younger age, we're still fragile and we tend to lean towards things that we think are right or that we hear often about. But for discipline, it's something that has to be learned. So for like beer, it's an acquired taste. The first time I had a beer, and I remember that day I hated it. I went out with a friend. I had a sip, and I had to down beer with. I had to chase it with water, and the girls next to us, the table right over, they were laughing at me, right? But that's the same thing for discipline. Discipline is not motivation. Discipline, although it does get you going, it keeps you going. So, and this kind of ties in with consistency. So, for example, with school, with exercise, badminton, if you're in schools for trades or business, arts, we can even talk about friendships, relationships, what have you, whatever you want to work yourself on, right? As long as you discipline yourself and stay consistent, then things will come together. For example, with working out, there were so many days I just didn't want to go to the gym, like I said previously. But as I reached an older age, about 23, I started to discipline myself. You know what? If I don't go to the gym today because of one bad day, then who's going to do it for me? Right? I can't pay someone to do it. I had to do it myself. Well, maybe I had an argument with my sister, right? And oh, my day is ruined. But am I gonna let that stop me? No, I have to discipline myself and go regardless. Right? So discipline trumps motivation. It's kind of like that quote: "Hard work will always beat talent." Right? When talent doesn't work. So if you got a lot of talent, but you don't put in the work and you're not consistent, then someone else who wants it really bad is going to beat you. And same thing with badminton. I remember there was one year when I was first starting, I quit because I wasn't quote unquote motivated enough. But when I disciplined myself to work through those bad days, I got better. There were times when I was playing poorly, I wasn't playing to the best of my ability, I would get really sad. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to have the bad days to know when you have the good days. So just because of one bad thing, that doesn't determine the path that you're on. It just tells you that, it's okay. Failure is the tuition we pay for success. Everybody has a bad day. It's impossible to have 100% good days when learning something. There's always going to be obstacles and pitfalls and challenges in the way, and that's just life. That's what makes life. What would life be if it was just a breeze? You got everything you wanted, you never really worked for it, and it came easily. What is it? And if we get things easily, that means we don't learn the value of a dollar, we don't learn respect, hard work, any of that stuff. And those values are so important in today's society. I feel like a lot of kids don't have that, and mainly because perhaps their parents spoil them or treat them like princes and princesses. But that's what I think. So just to quickly summarize, motivation is temporary. It's something you can consume through whatever media you want. That's fine, but it's not sustainable. As with discipline, discipline gets you going and it keeps you going. It keeps you going through all the bad times, right? So if maybe you wake up 8 a.m., you don't want to go to class, well, guess what? Discipline keeps you going. You know with discipline that you will get the work done and something's going to come out of it. Those small little steps are going to compound up and make a big result. Thanks for watching.